What's going on, everybody? It is a very special week. You know why? Because on February 29th, there is going to be a showdown in Atlanta, Georgia, because they're going to be doing the U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials. Today, we're going to be talking all about those top 5 men, where they're coming from, and who I think will be the U.S. Olympic Marathon team. My name is Brendan, and on this channel, we talk all things endurance sports. So that could be marathoning, triathlon, anything in between, we're gonna be talking about it. And if that's something you're into, consider hitting that subscribe button because we're coming back here each and every day. Without further ado, let's get into male number 5. Jacob Riley is our 5th fastest male in this U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials. He is a 32-year-old young man from Bellingham, Washington. He qualified in a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 36 seconds at none less but the Chicago Marathon. What a fantastic race. I hope to do that one day. It is a relatively flat course as well, with only just above 300 feet of elevation gain. So Jacob's gonna have to be careful doing this Atlanta, Georgia course, which has a ton of elevation gain. His legs are gonna be sore, that is for sure. Nothing we can do though. He's going to keep on pushing through. He's going to have a great showing, I bet. Barrett Ward is our 4th fastest male. He is a spring chicken at the age of 31, reigning from Layton, Utah. He is a very fast guy, I must say. He qualified in a time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 25 seconds at none less but the famous, the ultimate, the one we all want to qualify for, the Boston Marathon, which, like the Atlanta, Georgia course, has quite a bit of elevation gain. It has roughly 1,000 feet. The Atlanta, Georgia course, like I said, has about 1,300, so quite comparable. He's used to going vertical, but nothing like you can go in these Solomons right over here. For those of us that like to go on the trails, explore the mountains, nothing better than a pair of Solomons. Okay, so let's move on to our top 3 males, because like I said, these guys could be our U.S. Olympic Marathon team. Scott Fable is coming in at number 3. He is truly a spring chicken in the marathon game at the age of 28. Now, I tried to find where he reigns from online, but he's quite private with all that stuff. I creeped him on Twitter, and typically I am a very good Facebook and Twitter creep, but this one I couldn't find. His profile says Freedomville, United States. That could be anywhere because the United States, the red, white, and blue, we all know that signifies nothing but freedom. He qualified in a time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 9 seconds at, just like Mr. Ward, the Boston Marathon. So they're both quite comfortable with vertical, but it's going to be quite a battle between Mr. Ward and Mr. Fable. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, because there's only about less than 20 seconds in between them on a very similar course. It's gonna be fantastic, I must say. Moving on to the number 2 slot. Leonard Korer, I don't know, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is our 2nd fastest male, coming in at the age of 33. He was actually born in Kenya and then moved to the United States for school. He did an athletic scholarship at a university in New York, and then he joined the U.S. military, and then he was able to compete on the U.S. Olympic Marathon team, or at least he was allowed to put his name in to become a U.S. Olympian. Pretty interesting story right there from Mr. Korer. He qualified at the Amsterdam Marathon in a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 56 seconds. Now, those of you that know the Amsterdam Marathon course know that it's pancake flat. So I hope his legs are prepared for what he's about to go to on the 29th of February. What a weird date. What a very weird date. It only comes once every few years, and here we are. They're doing a cool race on that day. I'm excited. Now, moving on to our number 1. I know you know who this is. He is the favorite. If he doesn't qualify, it will be quite an upset indeed. Coming in at number 1, Galen Rupp is our 1st fastest male. He is also 33, just like Mr. Korer, and he reigns from Portland, Oregon. He qualified at the Prague Marathon in a time of, get this, 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 7 seconds. Now that's fast. That's fast. I can barely do a half marathon in that time. This guy right here, he's fantastic. The Prague Marathon does have quite a bit of elevation gain and loss as well at roughly 742 feet. Pretty fantastic. Now, I want to give you guys a breakdown of their shoe sponsors just to give a little bit more insight into what we can expect to see on the course. So I'm going to go backward this time. So Galen Rupp is sponsored by Nike. So we can almost guarantee he will be wearing the Nike Next Percents. Not the Alpha Flies, no prototypes allowed in this race because they're not commercially available for everyone just yet. The same goes for Leonard Korer. He is also sponsored by Nike, so we can expect to see those nice lime green fast shoes, or maybe they'll have the hot pink ones. I personally would vote for the hot pink ones. That's just me though. Going back to Scott Fable, he is gonna be wearing probably the Hoka One One Carbon X's or Carbon Rockets because he is a Hoka sponsored athlete. Who knows? I don't know. I don't keep up with Hoka that much, so maybe they have a different type of shoe. If you know, leave a comment down below because I need to be more informed. Jarrett Ward, he is a Saucony athlete. Now, the Saucony Endorphin Pro are coming out this year. I don't think, just like I said with Mr. Korer and Mr. Rupp, I don't think he'll be allowed to wear the prototypes, so we'll have to see what type of Saucony shoes he is going to be wearing in this one. Last but not least, Mr. Jacob Riley is a Brooks athlete. I was a Brooks wearer for the longest time, and then I found this pair of shoes right here, the Nike React Infinity Runs, and well, let's just say I filed the divorce papers that same day. That's okay, we're almost through it. He's not taking too much from me, just half my bank account, but that's fine. Okay, well guys, that wraps it up for the top 5 male contenders for this year. Now, there could be someone coming out of left field. Who knows? Jim Walmsley, he's there. This is his first full marathon attempt. He qualified on a half marathon in Houston. So it's gonna be very interesting. If he can qualify, I'm gonna be very, very intrigued. It's gonna be an exciting day of racing. I can't wait. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about the top women contenders. So if you're interested, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and leave a comment down below of who you think will be the top 3 males that will be going to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. I honestly think that it's gonna be Jarrett Ward, Leonard Korer, and Galen Rupp. I just think Jarrett Ward has that experience behind him. He's been to an Olympics before. He just has it in the tank. Okay, that's gonna be enough for today. I gotta take this jacket off. Just so you guys know, I may be business up front, but I'm still wearing my nice running tights down below. Don't you worry about that. And of course, I'm dealing with plantar fasciitis, so I got my little spiky ball. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, keep on seeking discomfort and never stop smiling.